What is your most memorable game with in England and with New Zealand?
Okay.
So you're just your number one standout for probably with Burnley, maybe a hat trick, or New Zealand, maybe the World Cup. You know.
Look, you could go for the World Cups, your debuts and things like that. They're all so high on my list.
The debut goal.
But that's the one I was coming to. Yeah, I think it means so much as a striker, scoring goals. That first one took a long time for me to get. I think it took 13 games. Obviously, that came off the bench a lot of times, which didn't matter. But you still want that goal. You want that early.
Yeah.
And
the anticipation for it is crucial.
It was building up, and it's fantastic. And once I got it, it was the biggest happiness or the biggest.
With the undies?
With the undies. That's how silly I was as a kid, mate. I wore a pair of undies to pull myself on the scene.
We brought it up in the quiz the other night.
I can't believe you found the photo.
I know. We were trying to find the video, but couldn't find it.
Gosh, you
we'll have to go into the New Zealand football archives
to find it somewhere
dig deep in there.
I've
so
had
the debut against Honduras.
Against Honduras. North Harbour Stadium.
Yeah, I remember it.
Crossed by Jeremy Brocky, header. You can rewrite things. I remember you could rewrite every single one of your goals. It's fantastic as a striker. You get to remember these.
You know what? You say that, but I've forgotten most of my goals. But I
but
remember the good goals.
I tell you, I get like a clip of a goal up, and I'll tell you the day and time. And
wow.
I reckon you would be able to. It will trigger something in your mind.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
When someone reminds me of a goal, I go, "Oh yeah, I've done it. This happened. This happened." I think that's how it triggers.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go with England. Gosh, obviously debuts are fancy.
Hat-trick Premier League. Got to be, isn't it?
It doesn't.
And that's
get much
that's
better
recently, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it's
huge in my mind. It's something I think just scoring in the Premier League is fantastic. And I'm thankful for how many I've scored over the time.
Yeah.
But that is something that's always eluded me. 4 years I didn't have, or 3.5 without a Premier League hat-trick. And I've had some chances. I've been on 2 goals sometimes, and it's just fallen away. But that was.
So it was a perfect day for my life. And they were great finishes as well.
Yeah, very happy with them. Very happy with them. Just came back from injury and put 3 away, which was lovely. Best
moment of your career? And we'll go outside of football as well. We'll talk about the best day of your life, or whatever it may be.
There's been so many. I've been lucky and fortunate, both on the field and off the field. Seeing my sister get married was huge. Family, as you've seen and you talked about, is very important to me. She is my second half of me. So seeing her get married was huge.
Because you left camp, didn't you, for that one?
I had to leave camp,
and that shows how much she really means to you. When you did that, because it takes a lot to do that.
100%. I mean, it was something I couldn't miss. But it was something I also didn't want to disappoint the boys and not be there to begin with. And help out. So I made sure I could do as much as Mo.
You got it, sir.
And it was nice that the boys could finish it over the line. I remember on my sister's wedding day, I had the iPad out, watching you lift the trophy, and so fantastic. It was like the best of both worlds.
And then you went to the comfits after that as well.
Yeah, you got the best of both. So it was a perfect day.
So your sister's wedding,
it's up there.
Because after all, she did help you become who you are.
100%. She was one of the biggest influences in my life. And that's personal life.
Yeah, that's personal. And football?
Football-wise, she helped me. I had other influences from football. Biggest moment in my life, footballing-wise, Premier League debut, ticks off a lot of boxes.
Yeah, that's big. And that was when you're at West Brom, young lad at West Brom.
17, young lad. I remember.
And that's young to get your Premier League debut as well.
Yeah, I remember. I was training. It was funny.
You were a big lad at 17. You know what I mean. You weren't going to get bullied off the ball.
No, I was a big lad. And I've been training with the first team for a bit, in and out, just training a bit. And it was funny, the one day, it was a Friday, and the manager pulled me and said, "You're travelling to Portsmouth."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Have you got your tracksuit?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I've got to go home." So my mum tells the story so much better than I do. The fitness coach drove me to my house where mum and dad we were. I ran the door. She's like, "Oh, you're home." I ran upstairs, didn't even say hello, grabbed my tracksuit and said, "Bye, I'm off to Portsmouth." And literally just bolted out the door. And she went...
And then texted her on the bus.
I didn't even text her.
Oh,
That's the thing. I was so blurred and so thick.
Yeah.
Luckily, our academy manager called Mum up and said, "Look, he's travelling with the first team. I think you should come down and watch it because he's going to be on the bench tomorrow. And,
Unbelievable.
But she tells it so much better because I literally in out Bosch. She had no clue. She's like, "Where's my kid going?" Where's my 17-year-old kid going? He's in Portsmouth. He's supposed to be playing Brighton or Derby the next day at home in the Hall
for the
18s.
Yeah.
It was completely
so
different.
Your teammates must have thought, "Wow."
But I think that's the best thing is teammates. And I remember when there was a guy before me got a shot, a midfielder. It shows like, oh my god, so they're actually giving young guys a chance.
Yeah.
So why can't that be me next? And luckily it was me next. And then I reckon most of the other lads looked at me and went, "Oh, Woodsy's in there now, so that can be us next."
Yeah.
So we can go and get in there.
But it's not the case, is it?
It's not always the case, and that's the tough thing about it.
Yeah.
It's cracking that first team environment is one of the toughest things I think I ever had to go through.
Yeah, because it's the level of being a youth player to getting into the first team, but it's taking a senior member's place.
100%.
And that's the hardest part.
Taking someone with 10 years experience
and
probably. And then staying in front of
staying there.
It's huge. We spoke about it earlier, the mental capacity of the first 16 to 22 years old when you're just totally grinding, trying to get your profession started. And the mental side of that, it's huge. And you can't rest on your laurels. Once you break into the side, you're like, no, I've got to go again, got to get more, got to keep this guy out the side. It's one of the hardest things I think you ever have to do.
Brilliant. So any kids out there watching, to become like this guy, fitness is you have to be completely fit, ultra fit if you want to be at the elite levels.
100%.
Diet is massive. Focus and mentality is probably one of the key. And I would say obviously I didn't get to play in the Premier League and it would have been amazing for me, but I always had, the reason why I stayed so long in England and to play that long was because I had that. So it kept me there longer.
100%.
If I didn't have that, I probably would have sacked it off. Do you know what I mean? So find something else to do. So kids out there, that's the recipe to get into the Premier League.
100%, the fundamentals.